Hey guys, welcome back. We are here celebrating our 20th anniversary, and as promised, we're going live each month. Going to hit a few different topics today. We're going to give those out to you here in just a second. I'm Adam Cole.
I'm Braden Adams.
We're live here at SuperATV's headquarters in Madison, Indiana. We're pumped up today. We're going to be talking everything tires. Specifically, we're going to be giving you a little bit of a preview of our entire tire line, but we are also talking about max tire size. One of the biggest things that we get all the time on our website, we get questions into customer service, is how can I get bigger tires on my vehicle? And also we get feedback about, hey, you know, you say I can get this size tire on a setup and I think I can get a bigger tire. We're going to talk a little bit about how we measure. We're going to talk with one of our design engineers and get some down low on that. What else? Braden, you want to fill them in with some stuff we got going on this month?
Yeah, so before we even get started, want to make sure everybody knows we are running 20% off on the website now until the 27th for Memorial Day. So make sure you're popping over to the website to get those deals. And while you're there, if you're not already signed up for our giveaway, we're doing an Overland giveaway, which we'll talk more about that later. SuperATV/win. If you go to the homepage, you can direct yourself to it from there. Also, make sure you stay till the end of the live. We're going to be giving away a sweet deal on some tires, so make sure you stick around for that discount code.
Yeah, awesome. So like we said, we're going to jump into it. We are going to be talking first with one of our design engineers, Aaron Kirkland. If you want to come on over, Aaron. We're going to make our way back here to this machine. And like I said, a lot of feedback that we get is about how a certain tire size can go on a vehicle, or how do we measure our tire sizes. And so I thought it would be great to bring Aaron out here, give him a little bit of give us a preview about how we do that. So, hey Aaron, how you doing?
Doing good, how about you?
Good. So why don't you show us what you got here and tell us a little bit about what this contraption is.
All right, so right here we have a pretty much stock XP Turbo. We've got stock A-arms on it. And right here, this red contraption is our max tire tool. This is a tool we've designed in-house at SuperATV to allow us to measure max tire. So basically we can bolt it to the hub here. It's adjustable for tire diameter and wheel offset and tire width. And it lets us, spin around here and check, the entire wheel well to see how big a tire we can fit on a machine and what wheel we're going to need to run.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so since this is being an XP Turbo, we can fit, about a 30-inch, 31-inch tire on here. I think it comes stock on 29s. And one of the big questions is how we measure max tire. And so we measure at worst case. So what we'll do is we'll actually take the coil spring off the shock and we'll fully compress the suspension, fully compress any bump stops, anything like that. And that really lets us get to the worst case scenario. And worst case on this machine happens to be full turn. The tire would hit right about here in the wheel well before it hits anywhere else. And so that is the max size we would advertise.
Okay. We
want our arms to be a bolt-on solution. We don't want to have to do any cutting, trimming, anything to fit the tire size we say you can fit. So we really want no rubbing, even at the worst possible case scenario.
Okay. So on different vehicles, what are typically the trouble spots that you find that a tire rubs most of the time when a person gets bound up or whatever?
So most of the time on sport machines, it's usually in the wheel well in this area here. Whether sometimes it's back here more, but on this machine it happens to be on this frame section or the fenders here. And then on some of the utility machines, usually in the front bumper area, they usually have some plastics and stuff that go a little bit farther out. And so, it really is machine specific, but usually on the outside of the wheel wells where they're going to hit.
Okay, awesome. So Braden, I know you and I were talking a little bit earlier off camera and we were having this discussion. So one of the probably, I guess you might say, the biggest bangs for your buck in order to get larger tires on your vehicle is to get a set of forward offset A-arms. Is that right?
Absolutely.
So I think we've got a set on the other side over here. Let's spin around there. Aaron, you can kind of show us your measurement tool there, and we can talk a little bit about that. So Braden, you want to talk a little bit about offset A-arms maybe, and tell us why they're an advantage?
For sure. So while Aaron's getting that set up, here, let me grab my mic back.
Sorry, man.
You're good. So, we looked at the stock offset arm over there, stock arm that's on a machine. Aaron's going to further explain it, but when you look at the center pivot point of that arm compared to stock, we're moving our arm.
Yeah, you want to come around this way, Mitch, and maybe show them?
So if you look at the center point here, this is where it would typically be stock. We're moving 2 inches forward. So this is our Atlas Pro 2-inch forward arm, which is an awesome arm, by the way. If you guys haven't checked those out, definitely pop over to the website to check those out. But main advantage that you're going to see going to a 2-inch forward arm, which we're about to show you from what we've seen stock to what we're going to see with the 2-inch arm, is being able to run a larger tire. So I'll pass it back over to Aaron.
Yeah, so show us what you got there, Aaron.
So yeah, we have the 2-inch forward arms here, and with our tire tool, set up to the same size tires we had on the stock side over there. You can see there's a lot more room in the wheel well here now. These 2-inch forward arms will fit about a 34-inch tire now, compared to the, a little bit over 31 that the factory arms would fit. And so, it's just getting the tire away from the wheel well and away from any collision points.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else as far as design-wise that you want to talk about it for the forward offset A-arm?
no, just they're a good investment. They're a lot stronger, a lot beefier, especially the Atlas Pros here. And a little bit wheelbase too can help on hills and things like that. May make the machine feel a little more stable, and also get a bigger tire.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it, Aaron. This guy's out there busting it out every day in the engineering room, so we appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm going to give this back to Braden so we can talk a little bit more. So, obviously, talking about the forward offset A-arm, that's a great option for people to get a bigger tire on their vehicle. Maybe you want to talk a little bit more about some other options about how people can get bigger tires on their vehicles.
Absolutely. So it all depends on the style of riding that the customer is going to be doing, on what suspension setup they're going to go with. Like we said just a minute ago, the best bang for your buck is to go with a forward offset arm. On some of our 2-inch forward arm kits, they come with tie rods. So you buy a set of arms, you're going to get a set of tie rods too. So you're kind of fixing a weak point as you're able to gain an even larger tire. Something else, for somebody maybe just wants to get a one size larger tire. We offer small lift kits, so it comes with a spacer, maybe a bracket. And then for somebody who's wanting to get the biggest tire size they can possibly get, we have a full suspension lift. Then we have GDP portals that can be paired up with a lift kit, or you can pair the portals up with just a forward arm, rear offset trailing arm, all kinds of different options out there available that we offer to get a larger tire on pretty much all the major year, make, model machines.
Yeah. So one of the things, like on a sport machine, we were talking about, obviously with the larger wheel wells in the back, you don't typically have a lot of clearance issues with really pretty large tires in the back. The forward offset A-arm in the front is a great option for that because it's getting that out there, and you can get those you can get the larger tire size in both areas. A couple things I want to point out. Number one, I don't think anybody needs to really be intimidated by the idea of putting a set of forward offset A-arms on their machine. If you can turn a wrench at all, they're pretty easy install. There's lots of install videos out there that Braden's done on the website to help you with that. Once you get them on, you might have to do some things with alignment, but a lot of our A-arms, or most of our A-arms, are adjustable. That helps you with camber, or toe, I guess. Which one is it?
Camber.
Camber.
Yep.
That was right the first time. So it helps with camber adjustment. But one of the things also is, like, we have options for not only forward offset on a lot of the utility machines, but we also have rear offset A-arms. So vehicles that don't have trailing arms, we also have options that move those tires back further so that you can also get larger tires on, like, utility vehicles, right?
Absolutely. So, here's a prime example. Ranger XP1000. This does have a set of our rear offset arms on it. So,
Yep.
Like we were talking, you were talking about the sport models to utility models. Most of the time, you're going to make contact up in the inner fender well on the front side when you're on the rear. Compared to on the front, you'd be making it on the inner fender well more towards the chassis of the machine. So we do sell a rear offset, and honestly, it's pretty much a match made in heaven if you're trying to go to a 34-inch tire, something a little larger than stock, to run a rear offset with a forward offset, to where something a little bit different that you do on a utility machine compared to the sport model. Like this one, you could throw a set of forward arms and clear 34s on it, no problem. And obviously it's different for machines. One that I like to bring up is the X3 and the Turbo S. 2-inch forward arm, I think you can get a 37 on there. So that's a big tire for just a set of arms.
Yep. So one other thing to consider, you're definitely the guy to talk about this, but when you go to bigger tires, it's awesome, better ground clearance, you can get over bigger obstacles. I personally think they look a lot cooler. But what are the considerations that you have to think about when you get to a bigger tire? It's heavier. These machines are set up from the factory to run certain size tires. What are the considerations there for somebody who's like, okay, I got my bigger tires. What do I need to be concerned about?
Right. So, let's just use this XP Turbo again as an example. It comes with a 29.5-inch bighorn. That's a fairly light tire, smaller size in comparison to today. Everybody's going a lot bigger.
Right.
If we went to a 32, you're really not going to have too many issues, if any, depending on your riding style. If you like to ride slow, or maybe you're riding in the mud, you maybe would start to clutch a machine or start to think about a gear reduction. But once you get, 4 sizes over stock, that's when you really want to start thinking about doing a gear reduction, clutch kit. We have a wide variety of gear reductions and clutch kits for various model machines for all kinds of different riding styles. And also, the best option really is GDP portals. You're going to get width, you're going to get a little bit of lift depending on which size, and a reduction, 15, 30%, 45, 60, 70, all kinds of different reduction options.
And that really helps you get back the torque that you're losing
For sure.
because of the weight of the tire, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. All right, well, guys, please drop any comments in the video. Feel free to call into customer service. Ask us about tire size. Feel free to disagree with what size tire you can get on your vehicle. But now you got some background as to why we make sure that our customer has the absolute best case scenario, that there's no rubbing on any kind of setup that we do. And we put a lot of effort into that. And we do that consistently, as you can see with our measuring tool. We don't just come out here and give it an eyeball and say that looks about right. We're doing the work needed to make sure that you got the right size tire on your setup. So, all right, so what we want to do is we want to transition over here a little bit. Braden, you want to tell them a little bit more about the Overland camping package that we're giving away for the month of May. You can sign up one time each month. We're going to be giving away something every month, but this month is the Overland camping package. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what we're getting here?
So in that package, you're going to get a roof rack, bed rack, jerry can, toolkit, cargo box.
Okay.
So out of all of those, all great products. You're going to be able to fit your machine out to do any kind of overlanding, any kind of outdoor, or if that's not even your thing. These are excellent for any situation. Hunting, absolutely. Yep. And that's one thing I was going to touch on here in a moment with the bed rack. So this bed rack, this is our outfitter bed rack. Those of you that are waterfowl hunters, we thought of you when we were designing this product. Multiple different mounting locations for different kind of rigs, different decoys that you might carry. And then for somebody who's maybe not into hunting, plenty of options for storage. We've kind of got this thing fitted up with a few different tools. All of these slats up here, which may be kind of hard for you to see, but there's aluminum slats that run through the upper portion of both of these racks, the roof and the bed, with T-slots. So when we were taking these things out, testing them, testing them out for ourselves, checking them out, we had a couple kayaks up here, various different mounting options with that T-slot, and then the MOLLE panel on the side. So, it's really unlimited. It's fully customizable. I've installed pretty much every one that we offer. The installation's not bad on them at all.
Yep.
It's pretty straight to the point. It's a lot of hardware, but as far as installation goes, pretty easy. It's all right here on the bed or the roof.
You can see they're built really, really well and sturdy. These slats are awesome because one thing that Braden didn't mention is there's two different positions that you can install the slats. So you can put them on the top section that creates more of a platform in the upper area, or you can drop them down to the bottom section, which creates more of a basket. So if you're putting kind of cargo and stuff in there, you're worried about it sliding off, you don't have to worry about securing it quite as securely. That's really nice. And I don't know if you can get this over here, Mitch, but the other thing that it comes with is the roof rack. So the roof rack has that same option to be more like a basket or like a platform. And if you make it into a platform in both sections, it allows you to have kind of one continuous space up there. Great for putting up lumber up there on top and hauling lumber. Great for hauling, like Braden said, kayaks, things that you might want to store up there. There's great places for cube lights, which makes it awesome, especially if you do a lot of hunting. You're getting out into your stand early, you can flip on lights. You have multiple areas around your vehicle that you can light up, so it's really, really good. One of the other things that's going to come with is this 3-gallon jerry can. It's also going to be included with one of our brackets that allows you to attach this and screw it in and secure it on. So this is up there and it goes right on the rack, which is really awesome. It'll come with a cargo box, which we don't have out here right now, but also is a handy dandy toolkit. You want to tell them a little bit about this, Braden?
Absolutely. So these toolkits, we really took our time to figure out what is needed. I'm guilty of it myself. Before we offered a toolkit, I just kind of had a tool bag and threw everything in it. We'd have an issue or something on the trail. If somebody needed tools to work on something, we'd be dumping a tool bag out in the bed of the RZR, going through, sorting, to where this is a nice roll-up toolkit. So various different size wrenches. We have a 27 millimeter, 30 millimeter. That's going to get most of your axle nuts if you had to change an axle. Dead blow, adjustable, Torx, Allen, screwdrivers.
Snap ring pliers.
Snap ring pliers.
Everybody loves a good dead blow hammer. Got a chisel in here.
Big chisel.
Can knock out some CV axle CVs when they get stuck.
Exactly. Pretty much any situation that you're going to fix on the trail, this toolkit's got you covered with that. And it rolls up.
Yeah, it rolls up. Got some straps and handles on there. Makes it pretty convenient. Cool. All right, so next thing we want to talk about is just our overall tire line in general. Make sure you stick around just a little bit longer. We're going to give you that discount code, but we want to show you a little bit about the tires, talk to you about the different types of tires we have and kind of what they're good for. So we got here, Braden, what we would probably call our mud lineup, I guess.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so what do we got?
So far right, we've got the Assassinator. Those of you guys down south that ride quads, super popular. It's been around forever. I remember, you know, way back that we used to run these on a crush lock. So no air in them. Essentially, it was just a piece of all thread, and it just sucked that tire together to where it just cuts through the mud like crazy. You know, guys that race used to run those a lot. There's still guys out there that do that.
Yep.
The Intimidator, and it is over here in the mud lineup, but this is a tire that it kind of surprised me a little bit. It does well in a little bit of every situation, really. Kurt from Slick Rock, he actually runs these out west at Moab, Sand Hollow, 6-inch boxes on an XP Turbo 4, and rock crawls with them, you know, so really kind of a universal tire. Obviously, it's kind of more geared towards the mud, but
all around just kind of a good aggressive tire.
It does great. It really does. Then the Terminator, which that's the OG. This thing's been around forever. You know, one thing that kind of comes to mind about the Terminator is I remember before I even was with SuperATV, we'd ride Toyotas, you know, at a local park, and guys would come over to SuperATV at the old warehouse and buy Terminator tires from Harold and run those on Toyotas. So they've been around forever. They do great as well. Then
you Yoda guys out there can get the can get the tires.
Exactly. And then the Terminator Max. So things.
We got this up to like a 44, right?
I think 42.
42.
Yep, 42. Biggest tire that we offer. We kind of went through and revamped it a little bit compared to the Terminator, and they do great. All around, you know, we did some testing a while back before we launched them, obviously. So it's been years, not a while back at this point, but.
Right.
And they performed excellent. There's zero complaints on those. All around great performing tire.
Cool, so let's head over and let's look at more of our kind of our all-terrain, what we consider our all-terrain lineup.
So right off the bat, our newest tire, the Incursion. So those of you guys that like to ride off-road and on-road, you know, where you can, obviously, if it's legal to do so, this is a great option. You know, a little bit harder tread, so it's not going to wear out as fast when you're riding on the road, but also it performs excellent off-road. You know, all around great tire. It's a steel belted radial.
Yeah, it's got much more of an automotive look to it.
Exactly.
And it's a good looking tire on a vehicle too, I think.
Absolutely. The testing we've done, what I've rode on them, they've done great. They feel really good on the road. You can air them down a little bit and they still hook up pretty hard off-road too. All around a great option. Got them all the way up to a 35 and a 15.
Cool. What else we got?
The AT. So the AT, a little bit, it's kind of an in-between between these two. That's kind of why we laid them out. You know, this is more of a hard tire, the Incursion. The AT is going to be a little bit softer, so it's going to hook up a little bit harder off-road, but you can still put it on the road if you'd like, ride around. It's not going to wear out as fast as a softer compounded tire would. And then...
Well, the thing I like about both of these tires is the way the lugs are designed is like they're designed almost like in multi-stages.
Yep.
So that gives them a little more flexibility on the ends of the tire, but it gives it a deeper tire tread than you might get on a regular kind of like all-terrain tire. It also makes for like even though the tire tread itself is wider apart from each other, it gives it more of like a smooth ride when you're doing it on flatter surfaces and things like that, right?
Right,
yeah.
Right. And lastly, my personal favorite is the Warrior XT. You know, I've ran XTs on my machines ever since I started here and even before, and it's always been a great tire. You know, I've never had any issues out of them, never had a sidewall, and you know, that's one thing that we really look for in a rock tire is the sidewall stuff, you know, and the XT's been great. You air them down, you know, if it gets a little slick, they hook up on rocks, any kind of wet surfaces. It's just an all-around great tire to have when you're off-roading.
Cool. Well, there you have it, guys. That's kind of our lineup for our tires. You know, we're doing a special today. We'll make sure we give you that code. So our code's going to be live25, and that'll be good from right now until midnight tonight. If we have live25, you use that at checkout, you're going to get 25% off of all of our tires except for the Sandcats. So the Sandcats have their own special deal going on right now. in addition to the 20% off that we have going on site-wide during our sale for Memorial Day. If you use Live 25, you're going to get 25% off of any tire. For those math whizzes out there, that's basically buy a tire, get one free. So make sure you get over there today. You take advantage of our sale. You take advantage of our discount code. You get signed up for the monthly giveaway. And anything else, Braden?
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, you're following, the whole nine, hit the bell.
Yep.
All that, and that's all I got.
Yeah, we'll see you next month.
Catch you next month.